Good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery with IIMFL and Smart Money Alliance. We get together with our distribution partners most weekday mornings at this time, just a bit before 8 o'clock Central. We have two topics today that probably will interest you both. One is on the white label program that we introduced over the weekend, and several of you have latched on to that already very impressively. And then we're going to talk about the $10,000 business Mastercard that Robert has done a great job of reminding us to get on the agenda. So two agenda topics today. So again, we get together via Zoom live most weekdays at 8 o'clock Central or a minute or so before with our distribution partners. We have three primary types of distribution partners. We have affiliates. It's free and easy to be an affiliate. Who wouldn't want to be an affiliate? All they do is educate, spread the word, and get paid. There's no selling involved. There's no cost to become an affiliate. And while it's not network marketing or MLM, we do have overrides. And so you can generate overrides 2 levels deep. Secondly, we have our credit literacy educators. They're a really important group of professionals. They're out educating on, to no surprise, credit. And so they're able to leverage the Credit Boost program, which has no upfront cost, guaranteed results, and we help individuals improve their personal credit scores. Now, as a business model, we certainly help with business credit as well, but credit educators, credit literacy educators are focused on personal credit. And then lastly, and maybe most importantly, we have our joint venture partners. We had set the cap at 100 joint venture partners. We're almost full. There's, I think, 1 or 2 slots left, so we're very selective in who we're having come in those remaining 2 slots. But our joint venture partners are 50-50 split of the net revenue. But mainly what makes the joint venture partners unique is they actually work with the clients. So they generate clients. Our joint venture partners contractually have promised to generate at least 30 clients a month. So they have a team, they have different distribution marketing strategies. So they're out generating 300 to 400 or more clients per year, at least 30 a month. And then also we can assign orphan clients to them. But the point is that joint venture partners actually do the mentoring with the clients, which is different than the credit literacy educators and affiliates who create awareness, refer in, and they're not involved with client implementation. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into our 2 topics today. They're 2 very different topics, but I think we'll have time to cover both. So we're going to first do a quick review of the white label 60-day credit sweep, and you should be seeing this on your screen. And then we're going to talk about the $10,000 Mastercard, business Mastercard. 2 separate topics, not related. Okay, on the white label, so what we know is that we rolled out last week the 60-day credit sweep. So under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, Section 605B, it provides under certain circumstances that CRAs, credit reporting agencies like Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion must block, that's the verb, block listed and applicable derogatory information. So they have 4 days to block that. So we're working with the legal team to be able to help clients that need to remove derogatory. Now, at the heart of Credit Boost, it's about adding new positive credit. But the truth is, if you have those shackles around your ankles of unpaid past debt, then it's difficult for the new trade lines to have as great of an impact. So on Credit Boost, we can add positive trade lines, and then we use the 60-day credit sweep, legal, ethical. We've had detailed training on that to address derogatory. But it's only on closed accounts. Stefan asked this morning, can that work on current open trade lines? And typically not. Now, if they were open fraudulently, then yes. But if it's an account that's open, that you've opened, that you want to remain open, there's not a way to address, for example, some late payments. Okay, so let's go through the 60-day credit sweep white label version. And so this is an option if you wish to partake in it. The way that it came up is several of you that are on the call right now, on the Zoom right now, said, I want to make more from offering the 60-day credit sweep, and I don't want clients to have to be in Credit Boost to do the credit sweep. So we said, fine. You take the 60-day credit sweep out, you market it, you enroll clients, and you charge whatever you want to charge for it. Now, we know our normal price is $939. Well, it's not our price. It's the cost of the legal team. They charge $939 to do the document processing. It's not credit repair. They don't do credit repair. We don't do credit repair. But $939 for the document processing. $100 of that normally comes to you. So again, some of you said, hey, this is powerful. I can sell it for more than $939. What can we do about this? And we said, fine. We'll do a white label, or what you call a private label. And so you can charge as much as you want. I know several of you started promoting this over the weekend, and we've had numerous enrollments. One of you, I think, had 6 private label clients enroll over just this weekend. So you charge whatever you want. What we've seen the most popular is the white label at $1,999. You collect half of that up front, the other half in 60 days. And again, you're just paying us the net, the $839. Anything above the $839, which again is going to expenses, it's not profit for us, but everything above the $839 is profit in your pocket. So the point is, you can easily earn more than $1,000. You can charge them up front, or you can delay it. You could charge them nothing up front if you wanted, and just collect whatever amount after the credit sweep is done. That's between you and the client. The point is, you can mark it up any price you wish. What we're doing is helping you legally remove bankruptcies, collections, inquiries, and such using Section 605B of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. We had a lot of detailed training. You can go to the IIMFL website, Credit Boost, and see a lot more detailed training, and even the link to the FTC guidelines. Okay, so there's that. There's 2 marketing strategies that we've seen several of you use on the 60-day credit sweep. Some of you like leading with Credit Boost, and I can understand why. To offer something to the marketplace that has no upfront cost is very powerful. So that part wouldn't be white labeled. They would sign up for the normal Credit Boost, and then that would allow you to get paid $5 per point of credit score increase. Then, for those that have a credit profile that would benefit from the 605B, then you can upgrade them, and then again, you collect the money and you keep whatever is above the 839. So that's marketing strategy number 1. The other is just go right out to the marketplace with the 60-day credit sweep, and we even gave you Elon's sample marketing material. I think that was on Friday, that you could use if you wanted to do so. The process with the white label is you're going to collect from the client whatever amount you want to charge. You can charge them $0 up front. You can charge them $10,000 up front. That's really between you and the client. What you'll do, though, is submit the $839, which is the $939 normal, less the $100 that would normally pay to you. So you're going to submit $839 to us. We'll go ahead and implement. And then, as we mentioned on training, I think it was on Friday, what you'll find is over 50% of these clients, once they've executed this agreement, will be very open, very interested, and likely also enroll in access to capital if you present it properly, because for them to have a guaranteed $100,000 coming to them, that's very attractive. So that is the process. We've several of you just really good marketers, so you don't really need any of our help. So you're just running with it. But we do have a marketing package if you want. We don't charge for it, where we can create a customized YouTube, so it's branded to you, but we'll create it and produce it at no cost to you. Create custom marketing flyers. We can even do live Zoom webinars conducted for you. But if you want the marketing package, which again, we're not selling, we're not charging you anything, you just have to make sure that you're generating at least 5 conversions a week of the 60-day credit sweep. And so that would be the requirement for that free marketing package. Okay, so we're going to pause for a moment before we go to the second learning agenda topic, the $10,000 Mastercard, and make sure that we've addressed any questions, comments, concerns on the white label. Okay, Stefan asked, what's the cost of the bridge loan to pay down credit cards? Normally it's 10% of the amount loaned. Thank you, Stefan, for that. Stefan's clarifying that if he's using the white label that he collects, and yep, you'll see that right here, right? So if you're going to go profit from this and you're going to go mark it up, then you're working with the client, you're closing the client, you're collecting the money. Otherwise, just refer them in the normal way and you don't have to do any of that. Thank you, Stefan. So yes, there's written guarantees on the 60-day credit sweep. So the client's not taking any risk. And ultimately, you're right, Demetrius. Hypothetically, derogatory items could reappear. There's nothing that we can do to assure of that. But certainly the credit sweep is going to be effective using the Federal Credit Reporting Act, Section 605B, and blocking derogatory information. We know that it takes 60 days to do it. And with that, then client certainly will be in the best position possible at the conclusion of that 60 days to go get funding. But it certainly is designed to be a permanent strategy, not a temporary strategy. Thank you for that question. And let's see, the question is about adding new trade lines. Demetrius, I don't understand really quite your other question. I apologize. Okay, so that's agenda item number 1. Do you need to do this? No. Is it required? No. Is there any cost to do the white label 60-day credit sweep? No. Certainly, if you're going to do the 60-day credit sweep and you're going to white label it, then we're expecting at least 3 a week to justify the white label model. In contrast, if you want us to put together a full marketing package for you, which we're happy to do, then it is requiring a commitment of at least 5 conversions a week. So for some of you, that's like a no-brainer, and others of you, that seems outlandish. It just depends upon how sophisticated you are, how good of a marketer you are, what type of channels that you may have either created or are considering creating. So very flexible in terms of how you want to implement this. The simplest way to implement is don't worry about white label. Continue to just refer people into Credit Boost. We've provided you a flyer to submit people in to Credit Boost. You do no selling. They pay nothing up front. And then once we review their credit, if they're a good fit for the sweep, we can recommend that. That's the simplest way. Yes, you can use the commercial on social media. Yes, ma'am. And thank you, Robert, for that. Okay, so I think we're rolling on to the second agenda item. Are there any other comments, questions, concerns on the white label? Let me summarize. White label means private label. It means you can take it out to the marketplace, market it at whatever price you want. So instead of the client paying the normal $939 for the document processing fee, instead of that, you charge them whatever you want to charge them, and whatever above $839 is your profit. Well, why $839? Because normally it's $939 to the marketplace. Normally you get a $100 commission. So we would net that out. You would go sell it, for example, for $1,839 if you wanted. You keep $1,000, $839 comes into us, but you can do split billing. What many of you are doing, split billing. You're charging the client right at $2,000, $1,000 up front, and then another $1,000 at the end of the 60 days. In that case, you would, of course, send $839 to us up front. So we implement the client. So you're making what, $161 profit up front, but you got a full $1,000 coming in 60 days. It doesn't matter to us how you price it. The white label is your business. And then we also clarified that in most cases, clients that do the credit boost and or credit sweep, if you introduce it properly, will also choose to enroll in access to capital. And then lastly, if you want the full marketing package, not selling it to you, no cost, we can put that together for you and support you with that. The difference is it requires a hard commitment of 5 conversions per week, which is just 1 per day, 1 per weekday. Okay, are we good on the white label conversation? Anyone have questions, comments, concerns? Big deal, right? A lot of people have bad credit. They usually want to improve credit to buy a home, buy a car, get business funding. Here's a proven, effective, no risk way for them to do that you can generate, frankly, as much upfront money as you want because you're private labeling it. Are we good there? Any questions? Okay, let's move on to the second agenda topic. And if I didn't address it today, Robert had threatened to come beat me with a cane. So here we're going to go through the $10,000 business Mastercard. This is an unsecured credit card that's viable for viable small businesses, because we can't fool ourselves to think that credit is going to be issued without some sort of underwriting criteria. No one wants to lose money by extending credit to high-risk people. So there's always going to be underwriting criteria. I'm going to go through in detail and explain to you the underwriting criteria of the 10,000 business Mastercard because several of you have been prompting me to do so. So it can be up to 10,000 initially, but it can steadily increase. And in fact, the credit limit increase can be every 3 months. So the max is 100,000. This has no PG, which means no personal guarantee. So if you had a $10,000 business Mastercard and you defaulted on it, you've not promised to pay for it yourself. It's not on your credit. It's not guaranteed by you. It does report on business credit to Dun & Bradstreet, so it helps build the Paydex score. The interest rate varies. There's about a 10-point spread there, and it has to do with the risk of the business. And that's what you'd normally expect, right? The more risk that the lender or extender of credit has, the higher the cost of capital is going to be. That just makes sense. So right now, you would be somewhere between 9.9 and 19.9. which is a reasonable range for credit cards, right? Because this is unsecured. This is an unsecured credit card that has no personal guarantee. Now, the devil's in the details, right? Here are the approval requirements. Now, this is not our credit card. We're not the ones issuing this Mastercard. So we're just simply the messenger, but we were asked by a number of you for details on this. So here we go. The nice thing is it works for DBAs/sole proprietors as well as more formal types of businesses. So it's very flexible in that regard. In the application, we're going to need the articles of formation, the DBA paperwork, or business license. So again, if you want business credit or this type of business credit card, you have to actually have a business in place. No surprise, right? You must also have a business bank account. And I guess I should write that, business bank account. And so how do you substantiate that? Well, you either have a business check, a business bank statement, or a letter from the bank. You must have an EIN number, which of course we know a credible business would have. And so you'll need to support that with either the SS4, letter 147C, or a tax return with the application. So we can't just say, oh, we have an EIN. We have to show them that we really do. We can't just say, oh yeah, we have a business bank account, because some people will lie. They're going to verify it. We need substantiation. We can't just say, oh yeah, we have a business entity. We actually have to substantiate it. All that's very reasonable. And frankly, everything here is what every well-established business should have. They should have their formation paperwork, they should have a business bank account, and they should have an EIN. It doesn't happen in that order, of course, but all credible businesses should have those items anyway. So nothing unique so far. They do a soft credit pull of the principal. So it doesn't impact your credit. We already said it's not a personal guarantee. And the key here is I'd like to say that there's no minimum credit score, but what they're really trying to say is you do have to have a credit score. You have some people that have gone somehow through life and they have no trade lines reporting. They don't have a credit score. They have no credit. They will not be approved. But to the best of my knowledge, anyone that has established credit, even if everything they've gone negative on, everything's defaulted on, they would still be approved. So does that make sense? It's my interpretation. No minimum credit score, but you must have a credit score. Hopefully that is clear. Now, this is set up, and again, I'm just a messenger, so it doesn't really matter to me if you like it or dislike it. This is applicable for businesses that receive payments by credit card. So is this a merchant cash advance? Absolutely not. But a credibility factor that these underwriters are looking for is, does your business accept credit card payments from clients? It doesn't mean do you take all of your client receipts through credit cards, but that is an element of credibility. They do, and they didn't require this last year, and they changed this in 2021. Now they require you to get a merchant account through them. Now they'll guarantee you can keep your other one if you want. If you have another one, they'll match whatever rates or beat the rates. And again, we're not making any money off of this, so I'm not trying to pitch you on it or sell you on it. I don't profit at all. I'm just answering the questions that you all were asking. So they're going to require you to essentially set up a merchant account with them, and they're going to charge you $100 for that. And so that is what it is. Then they require at least $1,000 a month for 3 months going through that new merchant account before the business credit card will be issued. And so when we talked about that this is relevant for viable businesses, well, a viable business has cash flow, doesn't it? Just to have an idea or just to go form an entity, get an EI and get a bank account, if you have no sales coming into your business yet, you could argue it's not viable yet. Well, they're looking to extend these $10,000 business Mastercards to viable businesses. So they're requiring, it's not my requirement. I don't have any opinion on it. This is just a statement of fact that you have at least $1,000 a month going through. Now, if you want to use the credit sweep, I mean, you could charge clients a credit card up front. They would pay you. We could go through this process we've talked about if you wanted. And then, of course, as long as you just sold one a month, then you would qualify for these other requirements, because what they're saying is a minimum of $1,000 per month. All right, and then they do have some restricted or off-limit industries, adult industries, gaming industries, and marijuana-related industries. And so some of you will say, well, marijuana sales is legal in my state. Why isn't this applicable? I don't know. That's just their rules. So let's summarize this, and then we'll get to any questions you have. So anytime that we're applying for credit, whether it be personally or through business, there's going to be underwriting criteria. This $10,000 business Mastercard is an innovative model that has rather unique underwriting criteria. Some elements are quite typical, and then they have some atypical requirements in terms of they're going to require you to set up a merchant account with them, which we don't get any money from. We don't have any profit from this, and you have to have minimal performance. So I think some of you saw $10,000 business Mastercard, thought there was no underwriting, and just got really excited. Wow, this sounds great, but that's too good to be true, right? It's never going to be like that. When someone is extending credit to another party, there's going to be underwriting criteria to mitigate the risk. Because if they just turned around and gave everyone a $10,000 business Mastercard with no personal guarantee, you can imagine what the default rate would be. All right, so there's the 10,000 Mastercard. I'll make this a little bit smaller so maybe we can see everything, and then we'll get to questions that you all have on either of these topics. Maybe a little hard to read, but at least we can see it all now. Okay, so Demetrius asks, is the credit card reported to Dun & Bradstreet? Well, that's what I said right here, right? I'll highlight it for you. So the answer is yes. Then he asked, is the merchant account reported to Dun & Bradstreet? I didn't know that merchant accounts were reported to Dun & Bradstreet, so I don't think I'm informed enough to answer the second part of your question. It's my fault, not yours. I was not aware that merchant accounts reported to Dun & Bradstreet. Stefan is doing a good job drawing a link between the two of these, and that's what Robert was doing on Friday when he prompted us to cover this today. So yeah, these two can work hand in glove. They're very separate and independent, but I could see how you could start doing the white label and then quickly qualify for the business MasterCard. I'm with you there. Okay. Who else has questions, comments, concerns on either the white label option for the 60-day credit sweep and or the $10,000 business MasterCard? All right. So Barry's asking a good question regarding business credit. So there are other types of business credit cards that we help clients obtain that don't have all of these requirements, that don't require you to go get a merchant account, that don't require certain minimums. So yes, and we call that so in our business credit building process, which is included for access to capital, no additional cost, there are two strategies that we help clients build business credit with. One is organic. Organic's where we start with 5 net 30 accounts, and then we build from there. And then there's fast track. Fast track, we skip the net 30s and we go right after the credit cards, business credit cards, Visa, Mastercard, so forth. And so those are reporting under the EIN. However, on the fast track, they'll also look at the individual owner's credit, because if the business has not yet established enough of its own credit, the best predictor if the business will pay its bills or not is how the owner has conducted their own finance. So you're exactly right, Barry. We can do this. We can access business credit cards without some of these hurdles, and we call that the fast track. And so we've had great success with that. So you're correct. And Peggy's asking a great question. So she already has a merchant card account set up elsewhere. Well, again, it's not my requirements. I don't have any financial benefit from this. I'm just a messenger. For this business credit card, it's different for other business credit cards, but for this business credit card, they require you to set up a merchant account with them and do this. So Peggy, I'm sorry, what you're doing now wouldn't meet the criteria. It wouldn't exclude you, but you wouldn't be issued the business MasterCard until you've met these requirements, which are highlighted here. So I realize some people don't want to do this. And again, I don't care. I don't have any financial interest in this. I'm just simply letting you all know how it works because I've had many questions. All right. So Will asked, do we need a different DocuSign if we're doing the white label? You are a smart cookie, Will Hicks. So let me make this larger because that's crucial. Yes, we use a different DocuSign for the white label. Because if we used our normal DocuSign that's labeled with IIMFL, then what are they going to see? They're going to see that that program is $939. So if you charge them something more than that, they're not going to be happy. So when we do the white label, it is not referencing the 939 and it is not referencing IIMFL. That's what allows it to be white label. Otherwise, you'd have an inconsistency. You'd have frustrated clients that paid more than they felt like they should have. So the white label is not linked to IIMFL and it doesn't list the 939. That's exactly right. So we have a different DocuSign we use for white label than we use for our normal. That's exactly right, Will. Kwong asks, how do you get started applying for the $10,000 Mastercard? So Kwong, the question, of course, is, do you meet all of these requirements? Are you ready to open a new merchant account? And do you feel comfortable that you'll be able to process at least $1,000 a month in that new merchant account? If not, it wouldn't make sense to do this. But if so, just email us info@iimfl and we can get you plugged in. Kwong asks, yeah, so this business Mastercard is going to improve your business credit. That's what we were talking about, that it reports as is highlighted here to Dun & Bradstreet. So you're exactly correct. It's a new positive trade line. All right, who else has questions, comments, concerns? Let me shrink this back down so we can see the whole page again. Great questions today. Who else has questions on either of these two topics, the white label or the business Mastercard? Anyone have questions on either of those? John asks, is that merchant account going to have ongoing monthly fees? I'm sure it does. And again, this is not my program, so I don't know, but absolutely, I don't think you'd find a merchant account that doesn't have ongoing fees. I think what I read, and again, they changed some of this underwriting. We started to promote this back last quarter, let me state, fourth quarter 2020, because it was great. And then they shut down taking new applications completely. And then they reopened it back up earlier this year, 2021, and they added these new sticklers to it. And I believe that the ongoing monthly fee is $10 a month for their merchant card, for their merchant processing. Again, John, I'll just reiterate to you, there's other types of business credit cards that we can get that don't have all of these requirements. So that also don't have a personal guarantee. And those become available automatically through the clients that are going through the Access to Capital program, because building business credit is part of what we do. So I'm frankly not as high on this as maybe some of you are, but maybe you're seeing something that I'm not. So in short, I believe that there's better options to get business credit cards than this. But this was since they made the change, because again, they used to not have some of these requirements, right? And then they made the changes. And so now I'm not sure that it's the best option available. But so no, we don't have a specific flyer for this. This will be made available to our clients that are going through. Because we don't monetize this, right? We're not making any money off of this. This is a resource for our Access to Capital clients, because we are helping them build their business credit. So this is one element to do that. It just may not always be the best trade line for many people. Because again, I think what attracts people to this is mainly two things: no personal guarantee, which I can appreciate, and the other is essentially no minimum credit score. Well, I never get concerned over credit scores, because even if someone has bad credit, if applicable, they can use the 60-day credit sweep, 605B of the FCRA, as we talked about last week, to move their credit from subprime to prime. And so I think most things in life that are targeting subprime people are more expensive than prime. So I think a smart strategy is to try to move from subprime to prime, and then that's going to reduce your cost of capital and increase your access to capital. Kwong asked about checking his business credit score. And so you can go to Dun & Bradstreet, you can Google that, and you can buy a single credit report from Dun & Bradstreet, or you can even subscribe to an ongoing monitoring service. And there's other business credit bureaus, but Dun & Bradstreet's probably the most well-known. All right, well, it's Monday morning. We've got a lot of work to do. We've assigned out clients to our mentors over the weekend. We're aspiring to do at least a one-to-one match. So if you fed in 10 clients last week, we made sure that you got at least 10 orphan clients. If you fed in 20 clients last week, we made sure that you got at least 20 orphan clients. Everybody that is on the mentoring list got at least some, one or more clients. And let's go implement. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Let us know if there's any questions before then. Have a good day.